I feel more than lucky, but very blessed to be here. And Barbara, I want to thank you for inviting me to be here. Madam Mayor, honorable elected officials, Mayor Harris, my beloved brothers and sisters, it is good to be in Oakland. It is very good to be in California. In fact, Barbara, you presented me with an opportunity to visit and see my baby sister who lives in Richmond. Been living here with her husband, Wallace Turner, my sister Rosa, and her son, their son Marcus. It's good to see you. You all can stand and from Alabama. Now, Barbara heard me say this, and Barbara, I want to tell you, each and every one of you, you should be very proud of your member of Congress. Barbara Lee is the best. She is a fighter. She is a warrior. She has the ability and the capacity to speak truth to power. She is wonderful. She is smart. She is gifted. And you need to send her back to Washington over and over and over again. We need her. Now, I didn't grow up in a big city like Oakland. I didn't grow up in a big city like Washington, D.C. or New York or Atlanta. I grew up on a farm in rural Alabama, 50 miles from Montgomery, outside of a little place called Troy. My sister would tell you that my father had been a sharecropper, a tenant farmer. But back in 1944, when I was 4 years old, and I do remember when I was 4, how many of you remember when you was 4? Well, what happened to the rest of us? My father had saved $300, and with the $300, he bought 110 acres of land. My family still owned that land. Peanuts, hogs, cows, and chickens. We did. I know many of you don't know anything about raising chickens. Some of you raise a little fuss sometime. Some of you can bring about a little drama, but you don't know anything about raising chickens. But let me tell you, as a little boy growing up in rural Alabama during the 40s and the 50s, it was my responsibility to care for the chickens. And I fell in love with raising chickens. I had to take the fresh eggs, mark them with a pencil, place them under the setting hen, and wait for 3 long weeks for the little chicks to hatch. Some of you may be saying, now, John Lewis, why do you mark the fresh egg with a pencil before you place them under the setting hen? Well, from time to time, another hen would get on that same nest, and there would be some more eggs. Do you follow me? You don't follow me. He's the chick the hat of a fool, he said in him. I would cheat on, he said in him. I would take these little chicks, give them to another hen, or put them in a box with a lantern, raise them on their own, get some more fresh eggs, mark with a pencil, place them under the setting hen, encourage the setting hen to stay on the nest for another 3 weeks. I kept on fooling and cheating on these setting hens. And when I look back on it, it was not the right thing to do. It was not the most loving thing to do. It was not the most non-violent thing to do. It was not the most democratic thing to do. But I was never quite able to save $18.98 to order the most inexpensive hatched or incubated from this Sizzle Roebuck store. Now, I know all of you weren't born in California. I know that. You don't have to tell me. Today I saw a Sizzle Roebuck store, a Sears store downtown. Are any of you old enough to remember the Sizzle Roebuck catalog? You really do? That big, thick book. Some people call it the ordering book. And some of us call it the wish book. I wish I had this, I wish I had that. And I just kept on wishing. Pastor Haynes, you know, as a young boy, I wanted to be a minister. I wanted to preach the gospel. So from time to time, with the help of my brothers and sisters and my first cousins, I would gather all of my chickens together in the chicken yard, like we're together here in the sanctuary. And my brothers and sisters and cousins would line the outside of the chicken yard, but they helped make up the audience, the congregation. And I would start speaking and preaching. And when I look back on it, some of these chickens would bow their heads, some of these chickens would shake their heads. They never quite said amen. But I'm convinced that some of those chickens that I preached to in the 40s and the 50s tended to listen to me much better than some of my colleagues listen to me today.
That's the certified dogs.
Your congressman, your congressperson, Congresswoman Barbara Lee is an exception. And some of those chickens were just a little more productive. At least they produce eggs.